The Soviet-era robotic vacuum cleaner, Sputnik, emerged in the 1960s, featuring a rotating brush system and automatic navigation that predated modern Roombas by decades. This heavy, noisy machine required special floor preparations and could only clean for 20 to 30 minutes before overheating, making it more of a technological showcase than a practical household tool. Despite its limitations, it represented the USSR's ambitious vision of automated domestic life during the space age. The Bowden Space Lander, designed by Benjamin Bowden in 1946, featured a revolutionary fiberglass monocoque frame that eliminated traditional tubes and weighed just 32 pounds despite its futuristic bulk. Originally intended for mass production, with built-in lights powered by a dynamo hub and optional electric motor, only 544 units were ever manufactured between 1960 to 1961, making it one of the rarest production bicycles in history. Its aerodynamic design influenced modern recumbent bikes, though its $89.50 price tag, equivalent to $900 today, an unconventional appearance limited commercial success. This Art Deco Emerson Silver Swan fan from the 1930s features a revolutionary skeletal cage design that reduced weight by 40% while maintaining blade protection, with brass accent blades that created a mesmerizing visual effect when spinning. The hexagonal base housed a powerful oscillating motor capable of 3 speeds, and original models in working condition now sell for $800 to $2,500 at auction. Its architectural framework influenced modern industrial design, turning a utilitarian appliance into a sculptural statement piece that defined the machine age aesthetic. The 1955 Westinghouse laundromat promised to wash, rinse, and spin dry with the push of a single button, liberating households from hours of manual labor. Weighing over 300 pounds and featuring revolutionary tumble action, it cost as much as a used car, but became the symbol of post-war American prosperity. The Hiller Hornet, a one-man helicopter designed to make every garage a personal airport. Powered by ramjet engines on the rotor tips and priced at $5,000, it promised aerial commuting, but proved too dangerous and impractical for civilian use. The pocket-sized transistor radio brought music to the beach in 1959, fitting an entire radio into a portable package for the first time. Selling hundreds of thousands of units worldwide, this transistorized marvel ended the era of bulky vacuum tube radios and made entertainment truly portable. The automated breakfast machine promised the perfect morning routine: synchronized alarm clock, tea brewing, egg boiling, and toast making in one gleaming contraption. Despite its engineering complexity and high price tag, most ended up as conversation pieces rather than daily use appliances. The experimental monorail used massive internal gyroscopes to balance a 2-ton vehicle on a single rail, reaching impressive speeds in 1962 demonstrations. Though praised as the future of urban transit, its mechanical complexity and high maintenance costs prevented commercial adoption. Electric vehicles dominated early 1900s city streets, offering 80-mile range and top speeds of 20 miles per hour. By 1912, major cities had more charging stations than gas pumps, but gasoline's convenience and affordability ended the first electric car era. The wearable TV let users watch broadcasts anywhere with its 5-inch screen and shoulder-mounted battery pack weighing 15 pounds. Marketed to sports fans and news enthusiasts, it offered 4 hours of viewing, but was too awkward and expensive to succeed. Before silicon chips, calculators filled entire rooms with precision gears, performing complex mathematics through pure mechanical motion. These machines could multiply numbers in seconds using thousands of components, consuming enough electricity to power multiple homes. At the height of Cold War tensions, over 200,000 American families built backyard shelters stocked for 2-week stays underground. Marketed with optimistic promises of survival, these expensive bunkers mainly served as storage rooms once fears subsided. The picture phone debuted at the 1964 World's Fair, promising face-to-face calls across continents through television screens and telephone lines. Despite massive infrastructure investment, poor image quality, high costs, and privacy concerns killed commercial adoption for another 40 years. Meet the Univac waitress, a motorized service robot that rolled through diners in 1958, balancing trays and navigating obstacles with primitive sensors and magnetic floor tracks. Weighing 200 pounds and moving at a glacial 2 miles per hour, it could carry up to 40 pounds of food, but required constant human supervision to avoid collisions. After countless spilled orders and frightened customers, most restaurants quietly retired these expensive novelties within months, though they generated invaluable publicity and engineering insights for future automation. French engineer Jacques Mayol designed the aquatic bicycle in 1965, featuring sealed bearings, weighted frame, and a propeller-driven rear wheel for underwater propulsion at depths up to 30 feet. Test divers achieved speeds of 5 knots, making it faster than swimming, but slower than conventional diving scooters. Despite demonstrated functionality, the contraption's awkward handling, maintenance nightmares from saltwater corrosion, and the simple fact that swimmers preferred their hands free doomed it to obscurity after just 24 prototypes were built. The Permacurl 3000 promised perfect hairstyles at the push of a button, using motorized rollers, heated styling arms, and timer controls to automate the entire salon experience in just 45 minutes, costing $3,500, more than a new car. Beauty salons marketed it as space-age luxury, but the reality was frequent mechanical failures, inconsistent results that varied wildly based on hair type, and terrified customers who felt trapped in a sci-fi torture device. Within 3 years, most were sold as scrap metal, though the engineering lessons influenced modern automated styling tools and robotic manufacturing systems. The Bell rocket belt promised to revolutionize commuting with 21-second flights reaching 60 miles per hour, powered by concentrated hydrogen peroxide, creating 300 pounds of thrust. Demonstrated at the 1964 Olympics and featured in a James Bond film, it captured imaginations worldwide but faced insurmountable problems. Flights lasted under 30 seconds before fuel exhaustion. The deafening 130 decibel roar violated noise ordinances everywhere. Landing required expert piloting skills, and the $150,000 price tag exceeded most houses. Despite millions in development costs and military interest, only a handful were ever built. Though modern jetpack enthusiasts continue refining the dream with electric and turbine-powered designs. Before email and instant messaging, major corporations moved paperwork at 25 feet per second through elaborate pneumatic tube networks connecting every department, floor, and building in sprawling complexes. The New York department store Macy's operated a 7-mile system with over 4,000 stations, whooshing cash and receipts from sales floors to accounting at compressed air speeds. Installation cost millions, maintenance required dedicated engineering teams, and the distinctive thunk hiss of arriving capsules became the soundtrack of mid-century business life. Digital technology and fax machines rendered these magnificent systems obsolete by the 1980s. Though some banks and hospitals still use simplified versions today, and the Paris postal system maintained pneumatic mail delivery until 2015. The Sunmobile, built by General Motors in 1955, was the first solar-powered automobile using 12 selenium photovoltaic cells generating barely 5 watts to power a tiny electric motor at walking speed. This golf cart-sized prototype could only operate in direct sunlight, traveled at 3 miles per hour maximum, couldn't carry passengers heavier than a child, and required cloudless desert conditions to function at all. Despite its impracticality, the Sunmobile proved the concept viable and inspired decades of solar vehicle research. Modern solar racing cars now exceed 60 miles per hour, and several companies are developing practical solar-assisted passenger vehicles, validating the 70-year-old vision while acknowledging that battery electric remains more practical for transportation. For just 25 cents, automatic shoe shiners promised a perfect polish in 90 seconds using rotating brushes, buffing wheels, and timed wax dispensers that eliminated the need for human bootblacks in busy terminals and hotels. These ornate machines became fixtures in thousands of locations during the 1950s, generating reliable passive income for operators while offering convenient service to well-dressed commuters. However, the rise of casual footwear, synthetic shoe materials requiring no polish, declining dress code standards, and high maintenance costs from mechanical complexity gradually made them obsolete. Today, vintage automatic shoe shiners are prized collectibles, with restored models selling for thousands of dollars to nostalgic enthusiasts and retro-styled businesses seeking authentic period atmosphere. The Climatron home system promised complete environmental mastery with separate temperature zones for each room, humidity control, air purification, and automated adjustments based on weather forecasts received via radio signals from local stations. Marketed to wealthy homeowners as the ultimate in modern living, the $8,000 installation cost rivaled a new luxury car and required dedicated basement machinery, constant professional maintenance, and electricity bills that shocked even affluent families. The complex vacuum tube control system failed frequently. Replacement parts were expensive and scarce, and most users discovered that opening windows was simpler and cheaper. Though commercial failures, these ambitious systems pioneered concepts now standard in modern smart home climate control, validating the vision while demonstrating that the technology wasn't ready for consumer deployment. Georgetown University's IBM 701 computer demonstrated automatic language translation in 1954, converting 60 carefully selected Russian sentences into English using 250 vocabulary words and 6 grammar rules stored on punch cards and magnetic tape. The demonstration amazed observers and generated headlines worldwide predicting translation machines would solve international communication barriers within 3 to 5 years, rendering human translators obsolete. Reality proved far more challenging. The system couldn't handle idiomatic expressions, context-dependent meanings, cultural nuances, or grammatical complexity beyond simple sentence structures, producing garbled output that required extensive human editing. Researchers severely underestimated language's complexity, and practical machine translation remained elusive for decades. Only with modern AI and neural networks have we achieved the functionality those 1950s pioneers envisioned. Though human translators remain essential for nuanced work 70 years later. The automat kitchen of tomorrow featured mechanical burger flippers producing 300 patties per hour, automated fryers with precise timing systems, conveyor belt assembly lines, and robotic drink dispensers that promise to eliminate kitchen staff entirely while ensuring perfect consistency. Investors poured millions into the concept, imagining chains of unmanned restaurants serving thousands daily with minimal overhead. But the reality was catastrophic. Machines jammed, constantly requiring emergency repairs. Food quality was mediocre at best, with no human judgment adjusting for variations. Cleaning the complex machinery took longer than traditional methods, and customers found the experience unsettling and impersonal. After 2 expensive prototype locations closed within 18 months, the concept was abandoned. Though it foreshadowed modern fast food automation, robotic pizza makers, and algorithm-driven ghost kitchens that have finally made unmanned food service economically viable 6 decades later. The Fuji Television Divers 2000 CX-1 was a Japan-exclusive collaboration between Sega and Fujifilm, combining a 14-inch CRT television with a built-in Dreamcast console in a distinctive blue pod design with antenna-like protrusions. Only 10,000 units were produced in 2000, retailing for approximately $1,500, making it one of the rarest and most collectible gaming devices ever made. Its unique aesthetic, flip-top disc loading system, and integrated controller storage transformed the console into a futuristic entertainment centerpiece that embodied Y2K era design philosophy. Monsanto's House of the Future showcased all-plastic construction with transparent walls that could supposedly adjust opacity electrically, built-in climate control, and modular rooms that snap together like toys. Displayed at Disneyland from 1957 to 1967, the 4-bedroom structure cost $1 million to build, yet was designed for mass production at $15,000 per unit. Despite attracting 20 million visitors, the plastic proved impossible to demolish. Wrecking balls bounced off, saws overheated, and workers eventually resorted to choker chains and brute force, ironically demonstrating the material was too durable for practical housing that needed renovations and modifications. The Exec-O-Matic briefcase combined business necessity with smoking convenience, featuring motorized cigarette dispensing, built-in lighter, ash reservoir, and space for documents. Marketed to executives who demanded efficiency in every aspect of life. Weighing 12 pounds empty and requiring weekly mechanical servicing, it cost $175, a week's salary for most workers. The concept died within 2 years as airports banned the fire hazard. The mechanisms jammed constantly from tobacco residue, and even chain-smoking executives found manually reaching for cigarettes simpler than operating complex briefcase machinery while commuting. The thermal waste home incinerator eliminated trash collection by burning garbage directly in basement furnaces connected to kitchen chutes, promising odor-free disposal and reduced heating bills from combustion heat recovery. Thousands of apartment buildings and homes installed these systems throughout the 1950s until residents discovered the horrifying reality: toxic smoke from burning plastics, grease fires spreading through chute systems, explosions from aerosol cans, and air pollution so severe that cities began banning them by 1962. The few remaining systems were welded shut or converted to conventional trash chutes, leaving only sealed metal doors as archaeological evidence of spectacularly dangerous household engineering. NASA developed the personal cooling garment for Apollo astronauts, inspiring commercial versions promising comfort in any heat using liquid-cooled tubes woven through garments connected to refrigeration backpacks weighing 40 pounds. Marketed to construction workers, athletes, and outdoor enthusiasts for $600. The suits delivered genuine cooling, but at absurd cost. Battery packs lasted 90 minutes. The compressor noise prevented conversation, mobility decreased dramatically, and users looked like science fiction characters, attracting unwanted attention. While commercial models failed completely, the technology evolved into modern cooling vests, NASCAR driver suits, and medical devices for heat-sensitive patients. Proving the concept sound, but the 1960s execution comically impractical.